Hi everyone, Airly here, back again for part 2 of my series about Dubsado as a CRM and how you can use it to save time and learn about the features of Dubsado. So today I'm going to talk about how you can save time using the features of a workflow. And so we're going to go through what a workflow is and all the different variations of that and a couple of examples of how you can use that. So a workflow is basically a series of automations. It's like setting up an automation, similar to how an email marketing automation would have emails go out based on a set time. A CRM has much more powerful workflows because it can be triggered by a date, such as your email ones, but also by other things, by someone paying an invoice. It can trigger an email going out. By someone filling out a form, it can trigger an email going out, or a notification to me, or an invoice being generated, or a contract being generated. All different sorts of things that can happen automatically so that you don't need to. So one of the reasons why I think this saves time is you could set up a whole flow of onboarding or offboarding or taking someone through a process, a service that you deliver without you needing to be there for every single part of the way. It doesn't mean it's not personalized, because you can personalize all the communication that happens between you and your client, but it means that you don't have to be there and you can set it up so that it runs without you. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you my Dubsado sample, not my actual CRM, because obviously that's a little bit private, but the sample that I use. So there's not much information in there, but it will take you through what's there and what you can use so that you can get an idea of how you can use that. Okay, so here's my Dubsado, my sample one. It's up here, early realty sample. So here's the dashboard. I've taken you through that in part 1 of this series. I took you through the layout of Dubsado and all the features that it has. So down here under templates is where we can have a look at workflows. So this is one that I think I set up last time, but this is one that we can have a look at more detail. So it basically, if I click on the cog here, I can have a payment schedule set to this so that if, for example, a client is paying a percentage of the full amount regularly, similar to a subscription, this will go out automatically and it will happen so that you don't have to remember to invoice them and they can just receive their invoice and pay. They can also, the money can be taken out by subscription credit card as well. Dubsado has that feature too. But if you want this option, it's here as well. So if we click on this, you can see that we can drop and drag different items. And if I click on edit, these are all the actions that we can do. We can add a tag, which is quite handy if you're doing a search. We can send an email. We can send a form. So if I select send a form, it will ask me which form to send. And I can specify that. I can also create a to-do. So this flags me and I can specify to send myself an email. So I can select that too. Or if there is a VA that is working with me on this, I can send her an email when this triggers. So when the to-do is triggered. So you see how much flexibility this has with creating to-dos. I can send a contract. Can select the contract. I can send an invoice. I can create an invoice. So this can be a trigger to create an invoice. If someone fills out a form or a proposal, they've made a selection, can create an invoice. You can activate a portal or deactivate a portal if you're offboarding someone and they've finished working with you. So a portal is where you can share information online. You can brand it for yourself in Dubsado and have access to that. You can upload information, the contracts there, the emails are there, the work that you're working on and the versions are there and they can access that. You can send them the link to their portal and it's secure because they can set their own password or you can set it for them, all those kinds of things. You can pause the workflow until 0 days after it started or until a particular date. You can specify a particular date and time, or you can hold actions until, and this is where it gets fun as well. before a job starts. So if you've got a job start set on a particular day and you need to send something to them a week before the job starts so that they can have all the things that they need, you can set that up after the job starts, before the job ends, after a form is completed. So, you know, you can't guarantee that someone is going to fill out a form as soon as it sends to you. So you can set this up so that this will pause until you receive the completed form. Beautiful. You don't have to check in on it. It will just happen. After the invoice is paid in full, you can set the next action, or you can set, once the invoice is paid in full, you can send them a welcome email. Beautiful. After the contract is signed, after all previous actions are completed. And you can set the time frame, how many days or weeks, hours, years. So you can see just how specific you can be. So let's go back to this. Send email. So canned responses, I went through canned responses in part 1 last week. So look, this is here, client name is all here, So I can add a smart field if I want of an invoice link. I could put that in there. I don't want that to be their first name. Client, first name. Delete that one. So you can see how you can edit that really quickly and easily. All the fields are there. You can add them in if I wanted to. Here's a freebie. Smart field can add a link to the portal. You know, I can put that in the portal for them. All those nice things. Or I can say your job starts on date and time. Very nice. So I can add a picture if I want. The normal formatting options are all there. I can change the color, hex colors as well. So really customizable. So that's a trigger. Let's apply that. 4 days. Oh, look at that. And then I can, you know, edit the next one. So you can have a whole flow of actions based on when the client does something, you can schedule the next thing because you've paused it until. So if you're checking in with clients, all those sorts of things can be really handy. So you can see how you can customize everything. Specify a form. Have we got a form in here? Let's add a questionnaire. Show you how to do this. This might be handy as well. So yes, 2 columns. I'll do a welcome and I'll throw in a picture that I can just select an image. Say me. Don't want the business card one here. That one. Send it. Upload. You see how simple and easy this is. Yep, that one. Add it in. Close. Text box. Welcome. Please fill in this short form. I can delete that. I can format all of that. Close. Now, columns. I don't know if I want columns actually. I don't want to show the title. Let's just do 1 column. And yes, no question. Are you happy? No it? Yes. Short answer question. How many hours do you expect it to last? Fine. And I can click on each one of these. I can edit it. I can map it to a certain field. I can give them suggestions. I can move these around. So many things you can do. Okay, so you get the idea. Settings. I can format all of that. Submit here. That, okay. Form, questionnaire. Save. Lovely. So if I go back to the workflow and edit this workflow, add an action, send form. Okay, form to send, questionnaire. Thank you. Yeah. Hi, client name. Here's this form. Form kind. I've selected it. Here's this form for you to fill out. Beautiful. Apply. That will send that to them. Okay, so if I've got lots of people, lots of projects in here, I don't have one at the moment, but this leads tester. Okay, so if I can go into here, workflow, I can apply a workflow. Apply this one. Okay, so you can see how you can now see this based on the person, and I can apply that. I can tick off items if I want to, which is all very nice. So you can see that from an individual perspective. If I go back to workflow, there we go. So I can tick off these. You can see I can mark completed, or I can force it for now. Beautiful. Go back here. If I've got lots of people working through this workflow, click view and see, it would list all the people down here, and you can see which action they're up to. So this one is in progress. So I can click on that and mark completed here. So I could do this in bulk as well. So many things. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Go back to me. So ways that you could use this. There are 3 ways just off the top of my head that I think you'll find useful for this. Looking at a lead magnet and having that set up on your website so that the workflow starts with that lead magnet. As soon as someone fills it out, having an automated email that goes back saying, awesome, thanks for signing up for this. This is different to building your list. This is a lead magnet for maybe a discovery call. So you can send them that email that then goes, awesome, here's a form to fill out. Here's a link to book in your time. They book that in, they fill in the form. The first thing you need to do is show up when they've booked the appointment. All the rest is taken care of. Beautiful. The second way is part of that packages thing that I was showing you about, that feature that allows you to automate the payment. You can do it either by subscription or do it in a package and pay a percentage of the package each fortnight. You can specify the terms once a month. So they'll get an email that says and you can customize the email that says, you know, this percentage of your product is due, you know, here's the invoice, and they click on the invoice and they pay by credit card. None of that has to be dealt with you. You can just automate all of that. So the third way, there's lots, but another really simple way that you could implement very quickly is the offboarding. So you could set an end date for when your last appointment is, and you can set up a form for feedback. You can set up an email that goes out thanking them. You can set up an email that goes out 2 weeks later saying, how's it going? You can set up an email that goes 3 months after that saying, just wanted to check in how you're going. What's your next steps? How's it been? And here's a little offer. You know, just little things like that you don't have to think about. You can automate it all. So workflows can really make life difficult. Easy is what I'm saying. And that can be a really good option. So if you are interested in Dubsado or getting some help with Dubsado, let me know, get in touch with me. I will be doing part 3, which is my 7 favorite features of Dubsado for client management. So stay tuned for that one. Thanks. I'll see you next time. I'm Airlie Wildy. I'm a scaling and systems strategist. Thanks. Bye.